I think it was one of the first things I thought about when I woke up this morning. Tomorrow is the tax filing deadline. So you guessed it, there are bad guys out to try to scam you out of your money. News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden will be here in a few minutes, and he will have tips on what you need to watch out for to make sure that you get to keep all of your money. We'll also talk about your forecast. I hope you got to get outside this weekend and enjoy the beautiful weather. It was gorgeous. We do have some heat on the way. We'll talk more about that and take a look ahead to this coming weekend. And of course, your Easter Sunday forecast. But first, we are talking tolls, specifically those express lanes that run right down the middle of I-4. We told you back in February that the Florida Department of Transportation was going to what they call congestion pricing. So how has that been working out? News 6's Eric Von Aken joins us now. And Eric, you're in a secret location today, I assume on I-4 or heading to I-4, which makes it not that much of a secret.
Hey, Julie. So we're riding along here on I-4 in the express lanes, coincidentally. I should tell you, first of all, I cannot hear a word you're saying. For some reason, the only way I can hear you talking is if I put my ear up to the phone, which is why it looks very strange when I do that. But in short, what we're talking about today and what we've learned from data from FDOT is that for anyone who was, we flip the camera around, for anyone who has been taking these express lanes, and even for people who have not been taking the express lanes, there was a concern that when the expressway authorities switched to dynamic pricing, so dynamic tolling, I don't know if you just saw the sign there. The base rate here for any segment on I-4, if you take the express lanes, so these are the toll lanes down the center of I-4, is 50 cents. Well, FDOT has been saying for a long time that the price of riding in these lanes per segment would go up depending on how much traffic was over there in the general lanes. So those are the free lanes over there, again, express lanes here. So when traffic got really bad here, like during rush hour, then FDOT was charging more here. The question is, how much more were they going to charge? So remember, they said they could charge as much as $3 now, so up from 50 cents to $3. So if you figure that 7 segments, well, 7 times 3, you could be paying $21 for your 21-mile commute down I-4, theoretically. So people freaked out. They said, well, I'm not going to start suddenly spending $21 just for a one-way commute down I-4. So we asked FDOT, how much have you actually charged people? And the answer is nowhere near $21 and nowhere near even $3 per segment. Destiny is handing me this because this is the answer. This is how much, at least according to the data, in the several weeks after dynamic tolling went into effect, 1/4 increase. So there were, on average, 4 days during the first several weeks right after dynamic tolling when the toll rate went from 50 cents to 75 cents per segment. So far less than anybody feared. Nothing beyond that, nothing close to $3. And in one case last week, FDOT said that the toll signs, the overhead tolling signs, showed $1, when in fact drivers were actually only paying 50 cents because traffic was crawling in the express lanes, going less than 40 miles an hour, which apparently it's a state law. We found out about this. It's a state law that they cannot charge more on top of the 50 cents on top of the base rate if traffic isn't going anywhere. So for anyone who might have thought, I'd like to take the express lanes, but traffic looks kind of heavy in the express lanes and I see the price has gone up, well, good news, relief, you are not paying more if the traffic isn't moving. You're not paying additional on top of that base rate. He doesn't, let's get out of here. So, in conclusion, will the toll rates go up more than 75 cents in the future? Very likely, as the traffic gets thick. But FDOT has always said that they never expected to get anywhere close to that $3 maximum that they can charge. So for likely now, you're going to be paying an extra this, Julie, when the traffic is bad.
I don't know. That seems like a good deal to me. I know you can't hear me.
So the good news is we're stopped. We're actually at an
Okay.
exit ramp here, so I think I just heard you. It is a good deal. Again, we when we did the story the first few times when we talked to drivers, the question was, what would you pay for? Right? I mean,
Hmm.
what is important to you? How much is your time worth? Of course, some drivers can. They do have that luxury where they can afford to pay to not sit in traffic, but it would seem to me that a quarter hike is reasonable when you're already paying 50 cents as opposed to $3. That certainly would
Hmm.
scare drivers away.
Yes. All right. Well, Eric Von Aiken, I will let you get back to your cruising around on I-4 and checking things out for us, especially since I know you can't hear us. Thank you. Bye. I think he was talking, and then, oh wow. Then I couldn't hear him. So happy Monday to all of us. Well, I hope you got to get outside and enjoy the weather this weekend. It was fabulous. Now, I didn't spend a lot of time outdoors on Saturday because Matt Austin, Ginger Gaston, and I were at a very cool event, one of our favorite events. We got to participate in the second annual, oh my gosh, that is Coda the Fluff. And I wish we could zoom in on her teeth because they're really adorable. This is the second annual Just Call Mo Bolarama, where we were raising money for Rosie's Adventures, which is an incredible nonprofit based right here in Central Florida. There we go. Just check out Coda's teeth. And Rosie's Adventures, their goal is to raise money and bring as much joy as possible to children and their families battling cancer. So a total of $25,000 was raised on Saturday, all of that going to Rosie's Adventures. That is up from $16,000 raised last year. That is my bowling team. I did not perform well. We did not win any prizes, but we had a great time and it was an awesome event. So we will be back out there next year, and I hope Coda the Fluff is out there. Ginger sent me that picture of her and Coda, and I was super jealous because I didn't realize Coda was there at the moment, and then I couldn't find Coda, and it was just really upsetting that I didn't get to meet Coda. So Ginger is now torturing me with her full photo shoot with Coda. So it was a great event, and thank you so much to Just Call Mo for having us, and we are so excited to support Rosie's Adventures. We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, we will take a look at the rest of your work week forecast, looking into the weekend, your Easter Sunday, and we will also have a warning from the Better Business Bureau about people trying to get your money on tax day. Stay with us. We're back in 2 minutes. Welcome back to Take 6. We are coming up on 1240. I'm Julie Broughton. We're so happy you're spending a little bit of time with us on this Monday. We'll check your forecast in just a moment. We do have a warm-up already on the way, so we'll be feeling pretty toasty through the next several days. Now, in case you didn't remember, tomorrow is the tax filing deadline, and the Better Business Bureau is warning you to be on the lookout for a voicemail claiming to be from the IRS. Here's Lewis Bolden with this week's Schemes and Ripoffs.
It's a call no one wants to get, leaving a message no one wants to hear.
We are calling about your overdue back tax filings.
Especially during tax time.
This is a notification call about your back tax debt that must be settled before the end of the month.
The Better Business Bureau Scam Tracker has received 116 consumer complaints about these voicemail messages in less than a month.
If we've received that many mentioning the same identical voicemail, we know that it is far spread.
Holly Sammons is CEO and president of Better Business Bureau of Central Florida.
What we want viewers to know is the IRS is not going to reach out to you by phone. They're not going to reach out to you by text message, certainly not through social media.
And if you call today, we can help you avoid any wage garnishment.
But certainly scammers are best known for using scare tactics and for using fear. And that's exactly what we're seeing in this case.
The calls are likely coming from automated call centers, and Salmon says the idea is to get you to pay something you don't actually owe to the IRS or to get your personal information. If you think you might owe back taxes, go directly to irs.gov to check. Remember, don't fall for the scheme, don't get ripped off, but if you do, email me at lbolden@wkmg.com. I'm Lewis Bolden, News 6.
I tell you, Lewis gets a lot of those emails, but again, you can go to clickorlando.com/investigators and check out some of the other stories Lewis has done about the tax scams this time of year. A few weeks ago, Justin Wormuth told us about a special needs baseball league that was actually in danger of folding. That's because of the conditions of the field. They just weren't safe for some of the players. Well, Justin put out the word to the community that the league was in need of donations, and you came through.
We wouldn't be at the place we are now without your team.
Central Florida Miracle League was down to their last out.
I don't think the league would have survived.
Their baseball field, in such bad shape, it became a safety hazard.
We want them to have a good time here, not to come out here and get hurt. Without changing this field out, we would have to fold the league.
That didn't sit right with me, and that's why we shared their struggles the day before their spring season started. The response from the community, almost immediate.
So many people saw that interview saying, hey, we saw the interview, we want to help.
Donations poured in by the dozens, $5 here, $100 there, just chipping away at the league's goal of raising the remaining $80 grand for a new turf field.
Not everyone is going to take the response you did. So for that, we are humbled and appreciative.
Nearly $4,000 was donated within 24 hours. Then, two power hitters stepped to the plate.
It floors me that they've been able to function, and so I'm really glad that they're going to get something, and I'm excited for them.
After seeing our story posted on Representative Anna Escamani's Facebook page, Jesse Eisner jumped into action, reaching out to his friend and business partner, Matt Steinberg.
And I said, how about you and I, we split this, what they need to just get them there, like immediately. So each of us will put up 40 grand. And he said, absolutely. It was a relatively quick conversation.
Yeah. Almost a no-brainer?
Yeah.
What was the initial reaction when you got that news?
I broke down.
Did you?
Yes. As you can see, it's coming up literally at the seams.
Yeah, I see that.
We have big chunks coming up out here.
Too.
Cracking.
I was there when Eisner met League President Mike Houlihan and Director Jeanette Borbola for the very first time. Borbola, whose son plays in the league, says they hit a fundraising wall before the floodgates opened.
And showed us there is hope. There is people that understand.
We hit a plateau. Yeah. We're not in a plateau anymore. We're getting this done, and it is going to be done this year. And we expect this field to not look like this, and it won't. It won't be wet, and we're going to play ball, and it's just amazing. So thank you.
Mike tells Justin that they are under contract for their new field, and it should be done in November. And another piece of good news with this, their goal was to raise $80,000. They raised $100,000, and that means they are looking into adding restrooms so they can have handicap accessible restrooms. Right now they're using porta potties, so again, they are getting a major upgrade, and our community always comes through. So that is a great story to share with you on this Monday. Let's go ahead and get a check of your forecast. We saw an absolutely beautiful weekend. Temperatures were in the upper 70s and low 80s, but that is changing. We are going to see the beginning of a warming trend. Radar for you scanning out right now showing we are dry, and that will be the case as we roll through the next several days. Here's a look at the satellite and radar imagery where we are seeing very little cloud cover out there, so it almost looks like the data isn't even turned on because that cloud cover is pretty thin, which means we'll see a lot of sunshine. Now right now we're sitting at 80 in the Villages. It is 79 in Sanford, 79 in Kissimmee, and you're also at 80 right now in Cocoa Beach. Here's a look at our winds coming in generally out of the south, out over the Atlantic, and seeing a little bit of an easterly flow across our interior spots. A little bit breezy at times with those wind gusts up to around 18 miles per hour in Orlando and 15 mile per hour gusts right now in Daytona Beach. Here's your clouds and rain forecast. Again, we're not expecting a lot of cloud cover throughout the day. We stop the clock at 7 o'clock and we'll keep our skies pretty clear through the evening hours. Then as we roll through the overnight hours, we're not expecting any weather-related issues. We should see clear skies and mild temperatures as we roll through the rest of your work week. Now for today, we will see a high of 87 degrees in Orlando. You'll top out at 87 as well in Ocala. Daytona Beach, you top out at 83, 81 in Melbourne, and 80 for your high today if you are in Cape Canaveral. Here's how it looks for the next 7 days. We go to 87 today, 86 tomorrow. Now tomorrow into Wednesday, we are watching a cold front. That front should come through dry. We'll drop our temperatures a few degrees by Wednesday with a high of 82 degrees. That's pretty on target for what's normal this time of year. But then Thursday into Friday, we see that warming trend beginning again. And this weekend, of course, 87 on Saturday and Easter Sunday, we are looking at 89 degrees for your high after a morning low in the 60s. We will break down your forecast in much more detail starting on News 6 at 4. If you have any questions or comments for us here at Take 6, head to clickorlando.com/Take 6. Let us know what's on your mind. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and I'll see you at 4.